Hello students, this is Miss Goff. This is lesson 5 in module 4. You were given these packets last week in class. For whatever reason you don't have your packet or you have lost it, feel free to do this on notebook paper. Okay. Lesson 5 is talking about the zero product property, which I introduced in Tuesday's video. So we're going to skip all of this, and we're going to go down to the problems, and we're going to work some of these out together. All right, so I'm on exercise 5 here. It says solve, show your work. Well, in order to solve this, I have to factor, right? So remember, we have to factor. We have to set factors equal to 0. And then we have to solve for the variable. Okay, so in order to factor number 5, the first thing I need to realize is that I have this plus 5 over here. This minus 5 over here. Do you see that guy? I need to get everything to this side of the equal sign. So I'm going to do that by adding 5 to both sides. So that leaves me x squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. And that's what I want to do. I want it to equal 0. Now I'm going to factor this left side. Say x and x. I'm going to keep equal 0. Now I need to think of factors of 24 that multiply to give me 24, but that I can add to give me negative 11. And so I'm thinking 3 times 8. So I'm going to use 3 and 8. Now, I want them to multiply to give me a positive 24. So I'm either going to have to do positive times positive or negative times negative. And I see I want a negative 11 to be my answer in my middle term. So I'm going to use negative 3 and negative 8. Okay, then I take both of those factors, x minus 3, and I set x minus 3 equals to 0. And I set x minus 8 equal to 0 because the zero product property says if this equals 0, then one or both of those have to equal 0. And then I just solve. So I can do that by adding 3 to both sides. I get x equals 3. Here I can add 8 to both sides. I get x equals 8. So my answer here would be x equals 3 or 8. Guys, you can write it like this and leave it like this for now if you want, or you can put it like that for now. All right, let's try another one. Let's go to number 6. Okay, so on the left side, I need to factor. I see an x in both of those terms, so I'm going to factor out an x. Let's see, if I factor out of x out of 7x squared, that leaves me 7x plus 1. So I'm going to set x equal to 0. I'm going to set 7x plus 1 equal to 0. Well, this one's already solved. X equals 0. But over here, I have to subtract 1 from both sides. That gives me 7x equals negative 1. And then I don't want 7x, I just want x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7. That cancels. That leaves x equals negative 1/7. So x can be 0 or x can be negative 1/7. Okay. You're just going to continue to do that for all problems. Let's try one more with number 7. So here, I see I need to add this 7 to both sides. That gives me 7r squared minus 14r plus 7 equals 0. Then I see I have a greatest common factor here. I can factor 7. Let's see, that would leave me r squared minus 2r plus 1 equals 0. All right, and then I have to factor again. Remember, sometimes we have to factor more than once. We change colors here. Let's say that'd be r, and factors of 1 are just 1 and 1. I need to multiply to get a positive 1, but add or subtract to get a negative 2. So So it's either going to be positive times positive or negative times negative. Now if I want a negative 2, it's definitely going to be negative and negative. So I'm going to set each of these terms equal to 0. And notice here, r minus 1 equals 0. I just add 1 to both sides and I get r equals 1, r equals 1. And 7 equals 0, that's a nonsense answer. So the only thing I have here is r equals 1. Alright, so the problems I want you to do for practice, I'm going to indicate those here. I'd like for you to do number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I will give you a hint here. Remember difference of squares. If you don't, go back and look in your notes. Difference of squares. You're going to need to use difference of squares, let's see, on number 3 and number 4. Yes, I think just 3 and 4. Okay, if you need a reminder on difference of squares, let's look at number 3 together. Difference of squares is where you have a perfect square minus another perfect square. And remember, when we factor those, we get 2 binomials, x, x. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 9 is 3. So we had a plus 3 and a minus 3. Again, that's the difference of squares. If you don't remember, go back and take a look at your notes on difference of squares. Okay, hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and we will have that open Zoom tomorrow that's optional between 10:30 and 11:30. Bye.